Hello and welcome to Football with Jay. It's always a lovely time to have you guys here. And we'll be doing a lot of football previews and reviews, things that have gone in the weekends, and we'll be looking at other games we are having on the continental stage. We all know that AFCON has already started, and we'll be looking at the games in AFCON. I have somebody here with me, and it's Dami,
Hi.
and we're going to be analyzing some of the matches together.
Hi.
So, Dami, how have you been?
I've been well. Tried to catch up on some of the matches that went down during the weekend. We're here to just talk on that and give you guys more light on the matches that are going to come up.
Amazing. It's just funny that we didn't even have any of the Premier League matches, but a lot of excitement were there, even
Yes,
in
the FA Cup, the AFCON.
FA Cup games,
Yeah.
because we had Championship side play against Premier League side.
Yeah, and
kind
some
of
surprising results happened.
very
Football.
very well. So we start from the game on Saturday. I think most of the big boys won. Leicester, Watford won, and I think Chelsea. Normally, it's always a cruise for Chelsea. 5-1 win against Chesterfield, and a very strong lineup there. I didn't even expect people like Lukaku and the rest to start. Then we moved to Sunday. A very shocking result on Sunday, and that was Arsenal crashing out. Nottingham Forest 1-0. So what do you think about it?
I would just have to say that it's football, because normally you go into that game with the mindset of you're going to crush the weaker team, but you never know. There are surprises that can just pop up and ruin your whole game. So that's just life.
The surprising part was that Arsenal, as a football club, they didn't qualify for many competitions this year. That means Champions League, no Europa League. They were playing Premier League games, I think, every seven days. So and I think this was even their chance to go for either Carabao Cup or FA Cup games, and I didn't even expect them to crash out very early. For somebody like Arteta, I think he will be very devastated, given the fact that Arsenal are supposed to maybe at least win a trophy this season, given that they are not playing games in Europe, and maybe try to qualify for the Champions League this thing.
Even Europa,
then go for Carabao and maybe the FA Cup final, but so disheartening that they crashed out. I think they were a bit lackadaisical in the game, and so they deserve the results. So that's just it. And we move to Wednesday. The games that we'll be having on Wednesday. Second leg, Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea, and Tottenham played the first leg at Stamford Bridge, where they were completely dominated by a very, very good Chelsea side. So what do you think? What hope did they have for the second leg? Because then of the possession, and
that's impressive.
Lucas Moura, Harry Kane, Son all played that day, and they were kept so quiet. So what do you think are the chances of Tottenham Hotspur in qualifying? At least they must win by a 3-goal without Chelsea replying. So what are their chances?
Given that they are going to play in their home ground, the
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yes, so they are going to have to score an early goal for them to gain a lead, and then they have to also keep some Chelsea players quiet, dominate the midfield and all that stuff. And then knowing Chelsea is a team that once they have gotten the lead in the first leg, they are going to be very, very tough.
Very hard.
They have that very good track record of protecting their
leads.
So I just wish all the best to Tottenham Hotspur, but I see this game going to Chelsea.
Okay. So Chelsea to win. He gave it to Chelsea. So on Thursday we move on. Carabao Cup, Arsenal, Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. The first leg was being postponed because due to COVID-19, we are supposed to have the first leg at Emirates. That was Arsenal versus Liverpool, but it was postponed. So we're having the second leg on Thursday. So given that Arsenal crashed out from the FA Cup, do you think they will come all out to get this one? And somebody like Jurgen Klopp doesn't really take all the small cups seriously. He mostly plays most of his academics boy mixed with some first team players. Do you think Arsenal have a better chance at Anfield, maybe to gain a lead ahead of the second leg at Emirates?
I see this game going as a draw, but I'm just trying to based on my own opinion, because first off, Arsenal they just lost a match. They won't like to lose another match like back to back, especially against a big club like Liverpool. That will be very bad in their track record for this season. So I see Arsenal coming out, pulling out the big guns and trying to do something. And Jurgen Klopp, who knows, he might put one or two, and based on the fact that now that the AFCON has begun, his forward now. There's the absence of Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, so that's going to be a very big impact.
Yeah.
And I don't see him trying to. I don't. He can also do that, but this is the FA Cup we're talking about here. It's also a big league.
Yes, and we even actually forgot a game that went down yesterday. That was on Monday. It was Aston Villa, Man United against Aston Villa at Old Trafford, and Man United won that by a goal to nil.
Yes.
So what do you think about the game?
They completed. Manchester United completely dominated that game. They scored the goal, I think, 9 minutes, 10 minutes thereabouts, and since then they just kept giving them the high energy game. Aston Villa also tried to
equalize.
They equalized, but I think the game or the goal was cancelled based on offside. So a very sad loss to them, but that's a good win for Manchester United.
So it was actually a very competitive game, given that as Man U these days haven't been winning games convincingly. There's been 1-0, 1-1 draws since Ragnick came in, and I think they won this one maybe by a bit of luck and maybe on the edge. You understand?
No, they
given Aston Villa side really came outside. They tried. Yeah. The greatest competition in Africa as a continent is going on, and which we all know, which is the AFCON. And a lot of games have been played. We've not been chance to do some of the review, but we'll look at the game, a game that went on yesterday. Yes, and I think we have Morocco, Ghana, and Morocco won that with a goal to nil. Then also Comoros, Gabon, and Gabon won that. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'll talk on the Comoros Island and Gabon match. The match was strangely exciting because I when I caught some snippets of the match that went on, it was not an easy win for Gabon. I would say that it wasn't an easy win.
It hasn't been easy for most countries in AFCON.
That's about AFCON. You can just find out I've never heard of Comoros Island before. And I found out that that's in dragging with Gabon. So
they gave Gabon a run for their money.
That's nice.
So okay, I think we're having some other games and we'll be reviewing them later in other videos. So let's quickly go to transfers across Europe, and the first one I'll talk about is a Newcastle side sitting bottom of the table in Premier League, a new ownership, maybe Saudi Arabian ownership, and they are promising good fortunes for the club. But it's quite disheartening that they have lost. I think they've won only 2 matches in their last 18 to 15 Premier League games. Do you see any chance of them surviving in the Premier League? I think they've started making some recruitment and bringing Kieran Trippier to the club. But what do you see are their chances of maybe still staying in the Premier League for next season?
Yes, I'll say this: just because they got a new owner doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be better. You know, it takes time, the funding, getting the right personnel, searching for the right players that are willing to come to the club, because some players won't just go to a new club based on there's money and all that. They have to key into the philosophy of the club, So I think now this is the time for them to shine, because the January transfer window has just opened. So this is time for them to hunt down all the key targets they've already made. So I think this coming year now is going to be a good year for them.
Can they survive it, or they'll fall back to the championship?
They should. The amount of money they're going to get for the amount of talent they're going to get during this transfer window it has to make some changes, Unless what is the use of them?
But we've not seen most of the players coming in. We've only seen Kieran Trippier. I think that's the right back.
Yes,
maybe we bring a kind of winning mentality to the club, and also experience, given that he has played in top clubs like Atletico Madrid, which is coming from, and I think a club in England. I forgot it.
Yes. So what I'll say for them to do, Newcastle, they just have to, in case there are any I don't know if they are Newcastle fans, but you guys should I think better days are coming for you guys.
Yeah. So
these are just the bad times. So they should just hold on and stay patient.
So what's their chances on maybe under 100%
of staying in the Premier League? That's tough. Because sometimes the bottom of the table team can just come up from nowhere and just go up to maybe 14th position.
Yes, I think the point dividing them isn't that much. It's not. I don't think it's up to 6 points. So they should still have.
If they can just go into the late that 14th position upwards, that is a good chance.
They should be able to survive.
Okay.
Okay, nice one. Coutinho moving on to Aston Villa on loan. What do you think about it?
I think he had to leave Barca at some point. He had to leave Barca. His move from Liverpool then was based on his childhood like dreams of playing in Barcelona, and winning trophies.
Yeah.
And sadly, that hasn't occurred because Barca hasn't been performing well lately since the departure of Lionel Messi and all. Them losing the Champions League and going to play in the
Financial
Europa League.
crisis, mainly.
Financial crisis also.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been really rosy, and he had to move. He had to go to a place where he could get
Playing time.
Yeah. As in get, and just not than for him staying on the bench and play maybe one match in or 2 matches in a month. So I feel he had to move, and hopefully he will find a form there. He'll find his form, get back his form. Because football, you never know, you can just come back and be a Chinese style.
I watched one of the interviews Jurgen Klopp gave in 2017 about the movement of Coutinho to Barcelona. He said that why don't you wait in Liverpool and play your best football, and we'll build a statue for you here instead of going to another club, and maybe you don't know what might happen there. So I think we might not fault the choice of a man that has big dreams, that wants to win Champions League, wants to play for one of the best clubs in the world. But I think Coutinho needs that loan. I think given that he knows Steven Gerrard, they've shared the dressing room before when Steven Gerrard was in Liverpool, so he can help him. He knows his ability, so he can help him both on field and off the field. I think a lot of work needs to be put in by Coutinho just to nail down that spot, and maybe hopefully. And I think he's also eyeing making the list for the 2023 World Cup or stuff like that. So he needs to play. He needs to play very, very well. And given that Barcelona are on a financial crisis, they need to take some players off their wage bill so that people like Ferran Torres they just signed, which we'll touch on, will come in. So I think the news coming in is Umtiti also has decided to take a pay cut, and has extended his contract to 2026. So that Ferran can be registered as a Barcelona player. So what do you think about the Ferran signing?
That is I'll say Barca now, what they need now, they need young new blood, that going to key in. I feel Barca of recent time they have lost their touch. Those days they had the academy players were the stars. Most of the stars they had them came through the academy. But now they keyed into this modern philosophy of buying stars from outside, and that's we also read that philosophy because mainly they come with a different mindset. They come with so they can't really fit into the club, and that's what I feel happened to Coutinho. He felt that he will fit into the club, but that Liverpool mindset was already with him, so he couldn't just change it all for Barca. So I feel that is a good thing.
Fantastic. And if you can touch on Chelsea, they have been injured. So given Chelsea have a lot of injury crisis with their wing backs, we know their wing backs are very they play a pivotal role in how they play. So do you see Chelsea signing more players this January just to push the ambitions?
I think I see them signing some players on loan, mainly to fill up that position you talk about, the wing back, because they can't leave that position empty. They can't start bringing in bringing in their centre backs. That won't make sense. So they have to bring in like at least 2 players on loan, or if they could buy one, they buy a long player. They could loan out to another club. They just have a history of doing that. So I feel that's what they're going to do this time around.
So Man City 10 points clear. Do you think they've won the Premier League?
They should. I feel because everybody that top that really like leads the table with that kind of amounts by this time of the year, they should win the league. But I think they should win the league. I'm not going to make any. They should. I have like 80% assurance that they should.
So you've heard from Dami and heard from us all, and this is the little we can do today on football preview. And I hope you really enjoyed it, and you can click the subscribe button to follow us. So, and we'll be releasing subsequent videos. Thank you very much.